All right, who's ready? Who's nervous? Good morning. 49ers Cowboys morning walk. I'm gonna go get some breakfast and felt that we can't waste any time today because the 49ers and the Cowboys play in several hours. And right now you got a game between Jacksonville and Buffalo happening in London, or somewhere in Europe, right? I think it's in London. I don't think that many people are watching that right now. I think a lot of you would probably rather talk about the 49ers right now, especially ahead of the 10 a.m. games. I just looked at the 10 a.m. games. They didn't look all too appetizing. The 1 p.m. games, maybe a little bit more. Get to see the Rams play in that afternoon slate of games against the Eagles, right? It's Rams, Philadelphia. So maybe that will help you pass the time, but I'll help do it right now. We'll walk maybe through the park and we'll have some fun here in the morning. So Fleet Week still going on in the city. The Indian summer heat wave has broken though, as you can tell, in long sleeves this morning. I mean, it's a good, I don't know, 40, no, it's over 40. It's like 58 degrees. I'm gonna go this way. Ah, man, we're going by the Good Culture Club. They're playing their music already this early in the morning. This place is a good place to eat. They got a little bit of a rooftop terrace here on 18th Street. We're gonna go by Tartine. You're gonna get to see some pastries. We'll look through the window, look at some good pastries, help you wake up. But beautiful day in the city. It's exactly what you'd want it to be. I know I featured the marina yesterday. Why don't I feature more of this Mission area this morning? I mean, look at this. I said that the Indian summer broke. Well, you could still see the fog. Well, first off, you can see the sun behind me kind of up and on the east. But if you look this way, then you could see that fog coming over Sutro Tower and Twin Peaks. See, that's going to burn off today. It's going to be nice and sunny, but it does mean that it's a little bit chillier in the city than it typically is. So, or was yesterday, that's for sure. Got chillier. You could feel it as we were on the rooftop with the Blue Angels coming over after there. We're done. 4 or 5 p.m., a little bit of a breeze started coming in, and we're like, okay, well, this still air, this 80-degree weather, this stuff is a thing of the past now for this week. It's going to go down to the 60s in San Francisco. Now, down in Santa Clara, it's still going to be warm today. I don't think it's going to be quite as hot, but it's still going to be warm down in Santa Clara. So, crossing over here, we're going to walk by Tartine. So we just got a green light. I'm gonna have to zoom out here. So this place, Tartine, right here at 18th, they got really good pastries. There's always like people lining up. You even step in. Morning walk. That was Tartine. Now we'll move on. I'll keep the camera this way right now because this is a cool spot of 18th Street. This is where you guys can go check out some good dinner. This is Delfina, which is a good spot to get pizza. Some of the best pizza in San Francisco. Obviously, it's breakfast right now, so they're closed. But Delfina is legit. It is a good morning vibe in San Francisco. Just everybody, I mean, it's nice and crisp, you know, the air is crisp, good for football. It was, I mean, October always feels like summer around here, at least part of it, which could be like, it's a San Francisco football vibe, right? That San Francisco football vibe is different. The San Francisco football vibe has Blue Angels written all over it. It's got, you know, it's more of a summertime vibe and you see the cities elsewhere, the leaves start falling. It starts to turn to more of a fall vibe. You don't get that. You don't get the leaves falling at all. I mean, coastal California, but you don't get that real fall atmosphere for football and colder weather in San Francisco until a little bit later in the year. October, you have more of that summer vibe, since it's ironically warmer here than it is in actual summer. It's warmer here in October. I love these little back streets of the Mission. This one's called Oakwood. Here, we could move over, check it out. It's a flat neighborhood compared to some of the hilly San Francisco ones. It's just, you know, nice and idyllic, nice and quiet here on this beautiful morning. And then you could always pan this way. You can see Mission High School and continue making our way down the street. And those of you who are familiar with the city know that I'm coming up on Dolores Park. So if you have any questions about 49ers Cowboys this morning, I came out with the video yesterday showing Pat Summerall and John Madden especially being shocked by the Blue Angels coming through against the Rams in the 1990s. I'm wondering if we get a flyover today. On that video, I talked about the 49ers practice squad promotions for this game. Kendall Sheffield, the cornerback, and Austin Bryant, the defensive end. There had been some speculation that Randy Gregory would play, that Kyle Shanahan was somehow trying to trick people. Well, by calling up Austin Bryant, the 49ers take care of that defensive end spot vacated by Kerry Hyder. 49ers have a nice bridge player in Austin Bryant. Not bridge like the game, but like a bridge to build from Kerry Hyder to Randy Gregory, while Randy Gregory is back in Denver getting his stuff. Also, I like eating at this spot. So this is Dolores Park. Mission High School, Dolores Park, big palm tree. And then you can rotate this way. And then this is what they call Dolores Park Cafe. Nice little spot. Now, I love Dolores Street itself. You can walk down the median of palm trees on Dolores Street. And this thing goes for a couple miles with these palm trees in either direction. So we're in the middle of the road right now, but we're headed here to the park. It is actually nice for it to be a little bit cooler today. It's getting me in the mood for 49ers Cowboys. Plus, you know, my rooftop partying, I'm going to swim this morning. I'm going to go to the bay and I'm going to swim. But the rooftop, so somebody's saying that he's surprised the park isn't like overrun. I'll say this, those of you who think that San Francisco is like that, like in most of the spots, you just haven't, you probably haven't been to the city. I mean, the vast majority of this city, it's got its problems like every other big city in America, I would say right now. But it's San Francisco is much, it's wealthier and it's prettier than any city in the world, probably. Definitely prettier than any city in America. And the vast majority of San Francisco looks like this. So you can't just believe everything that you see on TV. I'm actually walking you live through parts of this city. So I would say that this is visual evidence. I mean, this is one of the epicenters of San Francisco, Dolores Park, and this is exactly what it looks like. I'm gonna be out of breath at this point now because I have to walk up this hill. I gotta give you guys the good view. So I always thought that this was cool, this bell. It's like the Liberty Bell, but in San Francisco. And you got it from like a town, or it's a replica. Yeah, it's Mexico's Liberty Bell. So Mexico's Liberty Bell happens to be in Mission Dolores Park in San Francisco. If you can read that, you could probably read it a little bit better than me. To lean a little bit closer, my camera offers a little bit of a zoom. On the early morning of Sunday, September 16th, 1810, Manuel Hidalgo E. Costilla rang the bell of his church in the town of Dolores, this is Dolores Park, in the now state of Guanajuato, calling the people to mass and to bear arms against the Spanish yoke of 300 years. The original bell stands now above the central balcony of the National Palace in the city of Mexico, where the president rings it at exactly 11 o'clock in the evening at each September 15th in a traditional ceremony called El Grito, the cry of independence. Plaza and monument presented to the city of San Francisco by Gustavo Diaz, order of the President of the United Mexican States, September 16th, 1966. So a replica of the Mexican Liberty Bell, the Liberty Bell of Mexico, which we also see at a Grand Palace in Mexico. It's here at Dolores Park. And this is the morning in Dolores to prove that I'm actually here, that this is not just stock footage. We get rotated around. All right, 49ers Cowboys questions. Maybe now's not the best time for me to answer them, but I will anyway, as I make my way up. There's the city. Now, the higher up I get here, the better view you're gonna have. A lot of dogs early on. Now they have the statue of Manuel Hidalgo right up here. And I would have to say that's the first spot where you really start to get an epic view. How did I go from Visalia to covering the best team in the world, asks Christian Gonzalez. Well, first I went to Stanford, where I started covering their football team at just the right time. Stanford was 1-11 my freshman year. That was also Richard Sherman's freshman year. Then they hired a guy named Jim Harbaugh. When Stanford hired Jim Harbaugh, they got good. While I was covering them, I was announcing their games on the radio, the student radio station, and that really helped propel my sports journalism career. Went to Boston University for grad school, covered Stanford football to begin my post-grad school career. Covered Stanford football for a little website called The Bootleg. Got the call from ESPN. I worked for ESPN for about 3 years. I then joined The Athletic in 2017, covering the 49ers. So I've been covering the 49ers since Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch took over. Look at downtown this morning. You got a little bit of that fog, right? Just a little bit of it. It's burning off, that marine layer fog, but downtown is peeking out over it. And it's a beautiful view here from the park. So I was talking about Manuel Hidalgo. He's got the big statue here at Dolores Park. We can walk around him. And if you walk around him to the top of this little staircase, first off, you get the beautiful shrubbery. But you're also gonna get a beautiful view. Makes the gimbal worth it. I'm getting better with this sucker. Look at this. Manuel Hidalgo looking out over Dolores Park. On Sunday morning, before the San Francisco 49ers play the Dallas Cowboys. Downtown San Francisco. Maybe one day they'll have a statue of Brock Purdy somewhere in this city or by Levi Stadium. Somebody's flying a drone right now. Be a perfect time to fly a drone to go get mine. It's back at the apartment though. I mean, it's an epic morning. I could do it on any morning though. This morning I wanted to bring you live from Dolores Park. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk over this way because we're going to breakfast right now. So we're gonna walk along the train tracks here. And we're gonna go up over the hill. We're going to go to Peter's spot. We're gonna go to Jumpstart Coffee where we have the best breakfast sandwich in San Francisco. Who's gonna be the MVP today? Everybody can comment. Who do you think is going to be the MVP for the 49ers? Is it gonna be McCaffrey? Is it gonna be Purdy? Is it gonna be Bosa? Football is beautiful because you got so many different positions doing very different things, so you could have debates forever about who's more important. Daniel Garcia thinks the 49ers defense. Amy thinks CMC, Christian McCaffrey. I don't think there's a wrong prediction right now. Ooh, Ayuk, that's a good one. It's a really good one. Daniel Garcia thinks the defense. Ooh, Fred Warner. John Jones is Brock Purdy. So I'm going to go off the beaten path here now in San Francisco. We're going to leave the park, but first we're going to give you the view from the top of the park. You guys want to see the the J line? This is the J Church. The J line turns into a subway downtown, but it runs above ground up here. Told you I'd walk along the train tracks. Maybe you'll see a train come by. You can be downtown in about 15 minutes from here because downtown is right there.
Do you want it?
Somebody said Jake Moody. That'd be a good one. I mean, Robbie Gould kicked 4 field goals last year, right? 12 points came from Robbie Gould. 7 points came from Christian McCaffrey. Robbie was the 49ers' leading scorer against the Cowboys. You know, at this point, now I'm starting to regret wearing this long sleeve shirt. It's getting warm. It's a good thing I'm doing this walk before 10 a.m. All those football games, except for the Bills-Jaguars one, start at 10. Look, you could even see City Hall from here. They lit City Hall up in red, white, and blue last night because of Fleet Week. And the Blue Angels will be performing again today. There's City Hall. Do you see the dome right in the middle? I can zoom in. Scott Fowler says Dak throwing 3 picks would be awesome. You know, if he throws interceptions, I'd be really surprised just because Dak has changed his game to safer, shorter passes. And the 49ers are okay with that, you know. That means that he's less chance of explosiveness. If you're throwing shorter and safer, the defense just has to stop yak. And one thing about the 49ers is that they've stopped yak more effectively than any defense in the National Football League this year. So they're only giving up 3.8 yards per reception of yak. And if you can limit explosiveness, then you're going to get off the field as a defense. The odds are definitely in your favor. All right, we'll move up. Let's see when the J train comes. Give you guys a shot at, well, we'll see the J train on Church Street too, because we're going to walk over this hill. I have to get up this hill right now, doing it live. Pretty funny. You guys have a sense of humor. There's one coming, and see. It's not one coming for 7 minutes. The screen just went off. Dre Greenlaw, says Esley Green. Here it is. Seven minutes. We're not going to wait 7 minutes. We can wait like 2 minutes. We can look at the view right now. Glen Canyon Park is nice, somebody said. John Jones is Deebo Samuel. Everybody is picking a different player. It's kind of funny. This really underscores how good the 49ers are, how much talent they have. The fact that I could say who's going to be the MVP, and then we have 12 different answers pour in. Javon Hargrave, another different one. This team is loaded with talent, and some people, I don't think there's full appreciation of that just yet. I think it's coming. I've been saying it all year. Ever since they signed Hargrave, it's like, holy crap, most talented roster in the NFL adds Javon Hargrave. Are you kidding me? So, I've been saying it all year, but I don't think it's really sunk in. People were so focused on holding the front office accountable, and holding them accountable for what? Putting together the best roster in football? Are you kidding me? People are too focused on talking about Sam Darnold. Why wouldn't they sign a good backup quarterback who is better than Trey Lance? Why wouldn't they try to improve the team? Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch don't get caught up in sunk costs. And at this point, compared to Sam Darnold, Trey Lance was a sunk cost. So people are so focused on that and holding them accountable that they forgot to hold Shanahan and Lynch accountable for the most important thing, which is building the best roster in football. So this is Dolores Park in San Francisco. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Those of you just joining, I'm sure you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm doing the 49ers wake-up walk ahead of the game against the Cowboys. I actually did one of the updates, I remember, before the 49ers playoff games against the Cowboys last year from this little corner, the very top of Dolores Park. I really want a train to come by up the tracks coming from downtown. There's no stop going south, which is up the hill right now. So I don't know how long it is, but I wanted to show you guys the train. It'd be like a cool little addition to the video. Unfortunately, we won't have it. So Mo says he wishes the 49ers got Gregory a few days earlier. You know what, though? It's a long season. It's a really long season. 49ers played 20 games last year, including the playoffs. They're 4 games into this one. So they're a fifth of the way into it. You're going to get Gregory a fourth of the way into it, right? You're going to get him after 5 games. Yeah, I'll do some from Golden Gate Park. That's a good idea. I see one of the comments here. Yeah, when I don't want to... Oh, here comes the train. Perfect. We're going to get the train in this video. Check this out. Here it comes. Now we just got to count on the gimbal. The gimbal pan. Slow gimbal pan. There it comes. I want my timing to be right. There we go. It's making its way up the hill. Look at that gimbal. Look at the gimbal go. All right, that officially means the J has arrived. There is a stop up here, but it doesn't have a monitor. I was lying. The J has arrived. The J is going to go on its way into that little, I guess they call that a right-of-way. We can't walk down there or else we'll get in trouble. And we'll be caught in 4K, in my own 4K. But where we can walk is up that hill. So I'm going to wait for the train. Oh, I could just walk over here. Here it comes. All right, say bye to the J line. It will probably beat me, even though it's taking this elongated route. But I am going uphill. And I'll also say bye to San Francisco's downtown, which made for such a nice addition to the video. All right, we move on. We move on in life. Can't always stay in the same spot, no matter how nice it is. I'm not talking much now. You can put your questions in. This is the steepest part of the walk, so I'm saving my breath. Whew. Getting my work in this morning. Did they not do a good job stopping Pollard last game? Somebody asked me if they stopped Pollard better this game. Last I checked, obviously Pollard got hurt, but he wasn't lighting the game on fire when he was in there last season. I don't think Pollard was killing anybody in the first half. Somebody says he's killing us in the first half. I'm taking a break, so I'm not totally out of breath. Take a break right here. Dallas scored 9 points, right? I think it was 9 in the first half, or was it 6? It might have only been 6 in the first half. I get it. The 49ers defense has created a different standard for itself than any other defense in the league because they don't give up a lot of points or yards, but if you're holding another team under 20 or under the pace of 20 at halftime, that's a good defensive performance. Nobody's killing you, right? We see it time and time again where somebody rips off a few yards and everybody's like, oh, he's killing them. They shouldn't give up anything. It's just not realistic, right? It's the NFL. The other team is paid too. These are star players as well. Yardage is going to happen even against bad teams. It's the total on the scoreboard at the end of the game that really matters. And the 49ers aren't giving up a lot. So, and I wouldn't say that Pollard was gashing them for all too much. I could look up the exact numbers, but as far as translation of anything to the scoreboard, there wasn't a lot. I think they gave up either 6 or 9 in the first half last year. So we will see. I do think the 49ers defense has not peaked yet. I will say that. I think there has been some leaky yardage. They've been number 7 DVOA so far this year. I think that number 1 is the goal for this unit because they were number 1 last year and they added Javon Hargrave. So they scored 9 in the first half, right? Yeah. I mean, somebody just said it was tied at 9, and I thought it was tied at 6, but it was tied at 9 at halftime. That's going to win you the game if you're the 49ers. It won them the game last year. They kept them at 6. They scored the touchdown in the second half, and it was all good. All right, I have regained my wind. We're ready to do the next part of this walk. Powering up. Yep, and I mean, somebody just talking, I'm only glancing at the comments because I'm focused on walking up this hill, but the 49ers are getting hell a lot of quick release from other teams because they're scared of their pass rush. And Dallas, it's funny because maybe Dallas has done this to specifically combat the 49ers and the Eagles, who both have great pass rushes. But Dallas is running a totally revamped offense that focuses on the quick release. So the 49ers are probably going to get more of the same today. All right, so we made it to the top of the hill. Dolores Heights is what they call this area. Somebody said that Dallas is dink and dunk now. And it's funny, though, the whole league, that's a trend around the league, is to throw shorter and to set up yak. And guess who created that trend? The San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's offense, and the Chiefs, too. Both of those teams throwing shorter, setting up yak. They realize that's the high percentage way to win football games. How about that? It's beautiful. See, it's a little foggy over by the bay. It's gonna take a little bit to burn off, so I'm not gonna go swimming yet. I'm gonna wait for that fog to burn off. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be hanging out in this part of town where it's sunny. I think I have San Francisco down. I think I have it figured out. So now I'm gonna head downhill. Not figuratively, but literally. Literally walk downhill. See, it's a lot easier to walk downhill, at least on your heart rate while you're talking. Yeah, the quick release from Dallas has happened because Dak threw too many interceptions last year. I think that's the primary reason. There's multifold reasons, right? One of the reasons is he threw 15 interceptions, and the reasons are often intertwined. He threw 15 interceptions last year, which was way too many. But the reason he threw 15 interceptions is because he's playing teams like Philadelphia and San Francisco, who have monstrous pass rushes. That's just the way the league is moving. The pass rushes are outpacing, for the elite teams, are outpacing offensive lines. So you can't have your quarterback sitting back there with 5-7-step drops all the time. You have to pick and choose your spots, because if they do against those pass rushers and the offensive tackles and the guards are getting beaten, they're going to throw picks. So they said, whoa. Our offensive line is no longer winning the way that it used to. Dallas's offensive line has degraded over the years. Plus, even if the offensive line hasn't degraded, edge rushers are getting better. We need to change our offensive philosophy, kind of like most of the league has changed its offensive philosophy, and get rid of the ball quicker. Focus on yards after the catch, set up the yak. And that's hard. It's not easy to make that transition. So they've done it this year. Dallas has done it. Dak is averaging like 2 yards less per throw, which is significant. But the offense, the explosiveness still hasn't really recovered. The interceptions have gone down. He only has 1 pick so far this year. But the explosiveness hasn't really recovered. Now, maybe it will. Maybe this is the game where Dallas turns the corner offensively, but the 49ers kind of specialize in facing these quick release offenses because that's how everybody's been playing them. All right, so I made it down the main part of the hill. You'll recognize this is where the train tracks have reunited with us. So that train just kind of went around the really steep hill right here and just took the easy way. The train is lazy. I'm not. I didn't take the easy way. I took the legal way. I didn't follow the train tracks. So we're now in an area of San Francisco called Noe Valley. We've moved from the Mission over Dolores Heights to Noe Valley. And I am on, I believe that's 22nd Street. This next one is going to be 23rd. I'm going to be going to 24th Street. And the wind has picked up. So that hill, oh my God. Can you even hear me right now? It's a lot of wind. That hill was blocking me from the wind, and I was getting hot. And I was like, I'm regretting wearing the long sleeves. All of a sudden, I'm happy that I'm wearing the long sleeves. San Francisco, you could walk 5 minutes and the weather will completely change. You could see this fog coming over. It's that marine layer coming over. Microclimates in San Francisco. Look at the way these cars are parked. You gotta love it. Little Tesla. Just hope that parking brake is working well. Got the old Volvo up here. Looks like an XC70. Hope the parking brake is working. Is Jacksonville up on Buffalo right now? I think it was like 11-7 when I checked. Which is a funny score. Oh, the wind, that cold ocean air actually feels really nice right now. Because I've been exerting myself, to do this video. We're 35 minutes in. And just kind of, you like that natural air conditioner. The biggest air conditioner in the world is the Pacific Ocean. Here's a steep hill for you. So this is 23rd Street. The reason I know that is that church right there. That's a 23rd and Guerrero. I have to get down to Guerrero. But I want to show you Noe Valley first, because I think Noe Valley is a nice little neighborhood. Somebody said Noe Valley, I think it was Steve, said Noe Valley is the best weather in the city. I think it's all subjective. Noe Valley is definitely a bit cooler than the Mission. I'm in Noe right now. I'm going to be on 24th Street here in a second. And as I walk through, it is a little chillier. But if you like this, if you like the brisker weather, Noe's for you, because it's up on a hill, so it's going to get a little bit more of the wind. I am by the Mission, but I started in the Mission, not far away. I'm just giving you a little bit of a walk to calm your nerves before the game. That's the goal right now. A little gimbal walk through San Francisco to calm your nerves. We can talk about some of the issues that are on your mind. Hopefully I've given you enough of the culture and the food of San Francisco this weekend. It's been a fun weekend here in the city. Gotta get the cobwebs out before the 49ers play the Cowboys. Somebody misses Candlestick. I think everybody misses Candlestick. The place was legendary. Watch the video from yesterday. I have I visited the Candlestick site, repackaged it, put it into a video. I also visited Kezar. Both of these things are Cowboys specials. They're in one video. It's up there yesterday. A lot of people are watching it, so make sure you check it out. All right, we've made it to 24th Street. Now, the funny thing is I woke up a little bit hungry, but making this little brisk walk around the city has completely killed the hunger. So you can take the J train from the park to here. As you can see, there's a J train on its way, or you can probably hear it. And this is the very quiet, I guess I could say it's a hamlet of Noe Valley. Not a hamlet, it's a neighborhood of a city, but they say Noe Valley is like the Palo Alto inside San Francisco. We'll walk down 24th or up 24th and then go back down it. Got a few nice spots here. Although the more I walk this way, the windier it's going to get. So I think I'm probably going to turn around once we get to this next street. It's called the Vicksburg. I think there's a little town plaza that they actually opened up. It might be a cool spot to go. Cooper Kupp returns today for the Rams against the Eagles. That's going to be an interesting game because I don't think people are really sure of what to think about the Rams. And I think that Cooper Kupp's return should start to provide some clarity. The Eagles have not been as dominant as last year, despite the fact they're the only other undefeated team besides the 49ers in the league. They're around number 10 DVOA. So there are some cracks in the Eagles' armor. And we will just have to see if they handle the Rams with ease or if it's going to be a struggle for them. I think the 49ers beat the Rams fairly handily. I consider it a 10-point win. I mean, the Rams kicked that field goal at the end, but for all intents and purposes, 49ers got them by a couple possessions there. So here you are. Noe Valley Town Square. This used to be a parking lot. This is really cool. I'm I'm happy they were able to repurpose this, and people from the neighborhood can kind of just chill on the town square. So yeah, that's Noe Valley. It's a little windier here, and I kind of want to go back down toward the Mission, toward Peter's place over on Guerrero. So we're going to go downhill if the gimbal will follow me. There we go. You just got to trust this thing. You trust the gimbal, it will follow. Look, I found a Niners flag. It is coming up on the other side of the street at the Dubliner at this little pub. Cool. And a Giants flag. Let's walk under him. Let's cross the street diagonally. Let's walk under him. It's a little Irish pub here in Noe Valley. There they are. Niners and Giants flags. It's a nice shot. Look at that. Now, this pub, they're going to have to open if they want to show football here pretty soon. Doesn't look like anybody's home. No persons under 21 allowed. More like nobody allowed because it's closed right now. Look, there's a lock on that door. So, yeah, it would be really cool to walk in and watch the Jacksonville game, show off a little bar, bring him some business, but they're still closed. So we'll have to wait for that. If I can, if the street's not as busy, I always kind of like walking in the street so I can show you guys both sides of it. You can see ahead of me the hill crests, and we're gonna go down that hill. My prediction for tonight, 49ers 24, Cowboys 17. Ooh, a little brunch spot. Not till 10:30 though. My question for everybody is, do you think the 49ers will score 30 points tonight? I don't think it's likely. I think it's very possible. But my prediction is that the 49ers will score 24. I think it's good. I mean, Dallas takes a lot of chances on defense. So if Purdy executes perfectly, then yes, 30 points within reach. And then, I'm going to call Brock 30. He scores 30 in this game. If the 49ers do score 30 tonight, they'll become just the 5th team in NFL history to score 30 in 8 straight regular season games. The other 4 teams to have done it, 2 of them were quarterbacked by Tom Brady, 1 of them was quarterbacked by Peyton Manning, and 1 of them was quarterbacked by Kurt Warner. It was the greatest show on turf, Rams. So the 49ers and Purdy have a chance to join some really elite company, but they're going to have to, score 30 against the number 1 defense to do it. McCaffrey didn't get going last Dallas game probably because he was hurt. So people talk about, Dallas was missing Pollard for most of the game. 49ers didn't have a fully healthy McCaffrey. And you could see that a fully healthy McCaffrey is an absolute force of nature. He had a calf injury last year. Christian McCaffrey did. So we have now made it to 24th and Dolores, which is the street with all the palm trees. As you can tell, I was not lying when I said that palm trees lined this street for miles. Look, you got that view of downtown in the background. Then you have the row of palm trees. As soon as this light turns red for Dolores, I can cross, which is right now. And you can see the whole damn thing. So we walked from way over there. This has been going on for 45 minutes. Walked over that hill, down that hill, up through Noe Valley, crossed Dolores again on 24th. And now we can dip down Dolores into the Mission. There you see 24th. It's getting warmer again, by the way. Yeah, the other part of 24th is really nice. It's like with the Mexican restaurant. Steve is correct with that. I'll do that part of the Mission at some point. Today, I'm just going to Peter's shop here at 24th and Guerrero. That's where they have the Lombardi special on the menu, the place I'm going to right now. The Lombardi special breakfast sandwich. So as you can tell, you can probably guess I go there a lot. Riceless burritos, there's not many. I mean, La Taqueria, I think, does riceless burritos, but most of the burritos have rice. La Taqueria just tries to be different. Somebody accusing these taquerias of something that's not true. I will take that personally. And he took that personally. I love this back street. I think this one's called Fair Oaks. Beautiful. Ooh, the Hillside Neighborhood Barbershop. I might have to check this place out. Obviously still closed, but I'm always looking for a good place to get my hair cut for less than $100. One thing you can say about San Francisco, it is expensive. It's not cheap. That's why you have to listen to some of my bang for your buck food recommendations. Yeah, the 49ers have given up the least deep passes in the NFL. Lowest explosive pass rate in the league. You know, I got a good stat here for you. Juwan Jennings, when he's on the field, the 49ers have averaged over 6 yards per carry. When he's been off of the field, they've only averaged about 4 yards per carry. It goes down a full 2 yards with Juwan Jennings on and off the field. So yes, he is an amazing run blocker. Big for this team. He's going to be back. I don't think people should be underselling the impact of Juwan Jennings' return to the 49ers lineup. So I want to show you guys my first apartment in San Francisco. This is like over 10 years ago. It looks a little bit better than it used to. By the way, Jumpstart Coffee right behind me. That's where I'm gonna be going for breakfast. But just to bring this full circle, this is way before I started covering the 49ers. My first place in the city was on this block of 24th Street. I'm just waiting for a green light. All right, I think we'll be good. As you can tell, as it's red, he crosses the street as it's red. No, it's about to turn green, I swear. There it is, but I already made it across the whole street. So, you guys will see the legendary old spot here on 24th Street. Look how nice those Edwardian buildings are. This is it. Right here. That right there, right in the middle, that was my window, right onto the sidewalk. And you had to like enter through the trash cans over there. So I mean, it was not luxurious living, but it was this cute little place. Now, it wasn't painted back then, so we called it the Fight Club house. We called it the Fight Club house because it was like that house on Paper Street where Tyler Durden lived. Me and like 4 of my buddies just crammed into this place. So, I mean, you're talking 10 years ago or so. It was a while. It was several girlfriends ago. We'll just put it that way. It was before the wife. I don't think she would be happy with that spot. But we made it. And every morning, back when I used to live there, almost every morning, I discovered my love for breakfast sandwiches at this spot, Jumpstart Coffee, a little red awning across the street. And you know, there's the steeple of the church I showed you earlier in the video from the top of the hill. I would cross 24th and I would cross Guerrero and I would head to Jumpstart Coffee. And that's where I'm headed right now. 24th and Guerrero. Best breakfast sandwiches in the city. So anyway, 49ers 24, Cowboys 17. That's the prediction. I've covered this game from every possible angle. Every single possible angle. I don't think I could have covered it from a different angle. I even included my trip to Candlestick Park in a video and I edited that, and I did the Kezar Stadium trip. I can't think of any other way I can cover this game. So I can't wait to get down there. Maybe I give you a little bit more of the city today, the city vibes, but at some point it's time to move on with life and actually play the damn game. So I can't wait till the 49ers play the Cowboys. 24-17 is my prediction. Like the video, but go watch all the other ones and sign up, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Sign up for The Athletic. Really appreciate everybody. You know what else you can do? You can go and check out Jumpstart Coffee. Awesome little place. So I'm gonna get going now. We're gonna say hi to Peter. I'll talk to everybody soon.